Welcome back to the Raider D podcast, everybody. I am your host, the Raider D, and today we've got a lot to talk about in the free agency, the draft, as well as, again, just more stuff about Max Crosby because, you know, he is the heart and soul of the team right now. So we got to address a few things. And there's a few things I seen yesterday on YouTube by a few insiders as well as YouTube creators that I want to address in regards to Max Crosby. We will get to that in just a minute. Do just want to say thank you to everybody that is here and joining us on the Raider D podcast. And, you know, as you can see, it is a cloudy, cold day out here on the Raider Ranch. Got a lot of stuff to do because when you live on a Raider Ranch or any type of a ranch, there is always a lot to do, but I'm always going to make time to make these videos for you guys just for the Raider Nation. So if you are brand new to the channel and you love the Raiders, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. Help us to get to 12,000 members. That is the new goal, and we are marching right on our way to do so. So thank you to everybody that has done it. Make sure that you hit that like button as well, as it really helps. And please drop your comments, your opinions. I love to read all of the comments and respond to as many as I can. Now, let's get into today's video. There is a lot of speculation out there as to the future of Derek Carr with the New Orleans Saints. It is unlikely that he will be back as their starting quarterback. They may cut him. They may try to trade him. And there is some speculation that the Raiders may have some interest in getting the veteran Derek Carr back to the Raiders. So, first and foremost, please drop your comments down below. Are you team Carr? Are you team anti-Carr? Are you in the car or are you out of the car? Because for me, I'm on the fence. When it comes to Derek Carr, he had splashes of brilliance. He had games of over 300 yards and multiple touchdowns and no interceptions. And then there were games where he couldn't move the ball and we were going 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, and 3 and out, and we would just get humiliated by other teams. Now, with that being said, Derek Carr also never had a top 10 defense the entire time that he was the quarterback of the Las Vegas Raiders. And as we've seen in the Super Bowl, that does make a very big difference because the Eagles defense won the Super Bowl flat out. I mean, it's not even a competition between the defense and the offense. If the defense did not play the way that they played, maybe the Eagles don't win that Super Bowl. But because of that defense being just out of control and super good, they absolutely annihilated the Chiefs, which was a lot of fun to watch. So if the Raiders go out and they, beef up this defense some more, and obviously keep Max Crosby happy and give him a contract extension with some more guaranteed money, which we'll talk about here in a second, then you could see Derek Carr really flourish, especially with a tight end. Now remember, one of Derek Carr's best years is when he has good tight ends. And right now, Derek Carr has the best, if he were to come to the Raiders, he would have the best tight end in the NFL in Brock Bowers. And this is really helpful for Derek Carr because he likes to throw the ball over the middle. He likes to use those mismatches and get rid of the ball quickly. Brock Bowers is perfect for that. And so I think Derek Carr, if he came back to the Raiders with the squad currently that we have right now, I think Derek Carr would have a lot of success. Let me know down in the comments below how you feel about that. Now, what would it cost if we were to trade for Derek Carr and bring him back? I'm guessing that it's probably not going to cost more than a 3rd or 4th round draft pick for him because in reality, they just want to let him go anyway. So I'm not super concerned on what it would cost to get Derek Carr, but I just want to make sure that if we do get Derek Carr, that he's going to take a team-friendly deal so that we can make sure that we utilize this cap space. If you can get Derek Carr to agree to $20 million a year and give him a multi-year contract, okay. I'm not going to be super upset about that. Now, in the second portion of this video, I want to talk about Sam Darnold because, again, the Sam Darnold, all of the hype about Sam Darnold coming to the Raiders is still out there. Now, Sam Darnold's going to cost you $30 million a year, and he's only had one good season since he came into the NFL. Remember, he was drafted 3rd overall by the Jets. He was supposed to be a wonder boy, and he did not pan out. He went to Carolina. He had some flashes of brilliance, but also some inconsistency. Spent a year with the San Francisco 49ers, really upped his game there because when he went to the Vikings, he exploded with over 4,000 yards. 35 touchdowns, and he really showed that he can be a very viable quarterback in the NFL as a starter. But was that a fluke? Because his last game of the season and then his playoff game, he went back to looking like the guy that was drafted to the Jets. Very inconsistent. Now, granted, his offensive line let him get sacked like a dozen times in those 2 games, so that didn't help. But his lack of mobility and his inconsistency and his inability to raise up in the big games is still a big concern. Could you take a risk on him and give him a multiple year career contract? Sure, you could, because I think Sam Darnold, what he was able to show with the Vikings, if you give him a good defense and you give him an all-around good offense, Sam Darnold can flourish and he can win you a bunch of games. But will he just be a Kirk Cousins who gets you to the playoffs year after year, but then chokes in the very first round? That's my fear with Sam Darnold. So though he is a possibility, I would kind of rather see what Aiden O'Connell has than Sam Darnold. How do you guys feel about that? Drop comment down below. Now let's get into the Russell Wilson thing again. I think this one is pretty much dead, but people keep bringing it up. I don't believe that Russell Wilson will be a Raider. I don't see the reason why the Raiders would go out and get Russell Wilson, despite the history between him and Pete Carroll, both good and bad. A lot of people said that they have put that under the under the rug and everything is fine. Still, Russell Wilson is not the Russell Wilson of 10 years ago, so I don't see why you would go pay this guy $20+ million a year to come and be mediocre. Again, I would rather just go with Aiden O'Connell if that's the case. How do you guys feel about that? Who do you think is better? If you think Russell Wilson is better, drop a comment. If you think Aiden O'Connell has more potential, drop a comment down below. Now, let's get into the Max Crosby thing. I want to just address this again real quickly. From what some insiders are saying close to the situation, that the Raiders are absolutely in talks with Max Crosby about giving him a contract extension as well as more guaranteed money to ensure that Max Crosby will finish his career as a Las Vegas Raider, or at least 90+% of it. But, you know, Tom Pelissero, and I believe it was Ian Rappaport, maybe and the other guy, one of them came out and they said that, yeah, you know, it could be that the Raiders will trade away Max Crosby, this and that and everything else. Let me just say why I don't think that that's going to happen real quickly. First and foremost, John Spytek, the new GM, is on record saying back when he was with Tampa Bay that if you have a superstar defensive end, you do not get rid of him. You do not trade him, because these guys are not easily replaced. We have seen that. We have tried to get a star defensive end since Khalil Mack, and we have not been successful despite several high first-round draft picks of defensive ends. And it took Max Crosby, who was drafted in the 4th round of the draft, to finally get a superstar defensive end. So I don't see John Spytek trading away the best player on our team. Yes, I know he had a down year last year, but that's because he was playing injured basically since week 1. So I don't hold that against Max Crosby. He, even injured, he was still better than pretty much everybody else on our team. And so once he is fully healthy and we get him back in the lineup in 2025, I expect that Max Crosby is just going to be back into the PFF grades of 90s and above, like he was for 3 years in a row. So Max Crosby, I don't buy that he's going to get traded. So all of the noise saying that Max Crosby is going to get traded to Green Bay, Detroit, New York, all of this other different stuff, I'm not buying it until I hear otherwise. What I've heard so far is that they are absolutely going to give him a contract extension. If that makes you happy, drop a comment, Mad Max, down in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for being here. Also, check out our sponsor, Vtoman Power Solutions for solar power. The link is down in the description. Go check them out. If you get the Jump 1800 from our link, you'll save extra money, and you can get their Jump 1800 right now for less than $600 because they have a huge sale going on, plus our discount code. Absolutely insane. You won't find a better deal anywhere. So thank you to Vtoman for sponsoring the channel.